Hi, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Blue and Gold Talk. Time for a video finally, guys. It's been a busy month. This is the busiest time of the year for me with work and everything, with painting jobs and so on. But guys, a lot has happened. So I want to go over the playoffs, okay? I'm going to talk about the playoffs. And also, guys, I want to talk about the boys now that the season and the dust has settled and what has motivated me to really feel good about the Sabres and their future. So first, guys, I'm going to talk about the playoffs. I'll give you my first round picks, even though we're through the first round, and then I'm going to give you my second round picks. I'll be honest with you what I picked in the first round. Briefly, okay? So Toronto and Ottawa, I had Ottawa in 6. I just thought Ottawa would upset them. I just did. I knew that Toronto has a history of pounding Ottawa. I kind of ignored that, and I think Ottawa woke up too late. It was 3-0 by the time they kind of woke up. Ottawa, I had winning in 6, so I'm 0 for 1. Florida and Tampa, I had Florida in 6 in that one. For every reason that we've seen so far, I just think Florida is going to win the Stanley Cup again. I mean, I just do. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to win the Cup again, but we'll see. We'll see. Toronto could break through, guys. That'd be our worst nightmare. So I had Florida. I called that one right. 1 for 2. Washington, Montreal, I had the Habs in 6 in an upset. I just called it wrong, plain and simple, in that series. I just thought the younger Habs would upset the older Capitals, not to be. Habs put up a better fight than 4-1, but when it was all said and done, Washington pretty much had them in the end, no problem. So I'm 1 for 3. And Carolina and Jersey, because Hughes was out for the playoffs. I just didn't think Jersey was going to upset them. And I had Carolina, I believe, in 6 in that one, if I'm right. I had it written down, but I didn't pull it out. But I had Carolina winning that series. So I'm 2 for 4 in the East. In the West, Winnipeg, St. Louis, I had the Jets in 7. So that one I got right. But if you would have told me yesterday, with that 1.5 seconds left or whatever it was, that I would see that happen, I never would have believed it. But the Jets prevail, and they're going to be fun to watch in the next round. So the Jets win that one, so I'm 1 for 1 in the West. Dallas, Colorado, I had the Avalanche winning that in 6. I thought they would. They didn't. They just didn't. They just couldn't get it done, Colorado. It's funny. You know, sometimes you have just a one-year thing happen, and that's it. I'm 1 for 1 there, or 1 for 2 there. Vegas, Minnesota, I honestly believe that Vegas were going to just blow through them in 5 games. I didn't think Minnesota would put up such a fight as they did. Minnesota came close to even winning that series, it felt like, at one point. But Vegas did prevail, kind of as expected. So I'm 2 for 3 there. And then Edmonton beating LA, I had the Kings in 6. I just thought the Kings were going to beat them no matter what this year. Really, before that series, I just didn't feel like there's any momentum going Edmonton's way. I just didn't feel like they're going to do it. And then after those first 2 games in LA, the way they pounded on Edmonton, I just felt like Edmonton might go down in 5. And Edmonton stormed back. I'm very surprised about that out of all the series. That Edmonton turnaround was surprising. So I'm 4 for 8 in the first round, guys. Let's go to the second round predictions. Florida and Toronto, I got Florida in 6. I think Toronto will put up a really good fight. And I think what it comes down to is just experience and character. And I do believe Florida has that. Right now, they're the team that has that. So I'm going to go with who I believe are going to be the eventual champions. I got Florida in 6. Washington, Carolina. Folks, I'm going to go with the Capitals in 5 in a quick series. I think the Capitals are going to blow through Carolina unless Carolina keep up that physical play that they had against Jersey. We'll see, because they weren't doing it every game. But there were some games where Carolina really showed up physically. Now, Winnipeg yesterday, folks, had over 70 hits in that game. They're playing Dallas. So I got Washington, Florida in the East. Winnipeg, Dallas, I got this one I'm going to go Jets in 7. I think the Jets are going to maybe, I guess you could say, kind of as an upset, even though Winnipeg finished in front of them. I'm going to go with Winnipeg in 7 because of home ice. I think it's going to go right to the last game. And I do believe Winnipeg will win one of the first 2 in Dallas, and that'll set the tone for the series of a long series. Because Winnipeg, I believe, have let in 17 goals in 3 games on the road. They're the only team in the second round who has not won a game on the road yet in the playoffs. But I think they will maybe even as quickly as game one of this series. So Winnipeg and Dallas. Winnipeg, I got Winnipeg and Dallas. I got Winnipeg winning in 7. Coming down again to that home ice game in game 7. I got Winnipeg. Vancouver, Edmonton. That's a tough one, guys, but I'm going to just have to admit it. I think Vegas, Edmonton. I think Vegas. I think there's too many holes in Edmonton's lineup. I think they had that great run last year, and all their fans expected them to win the Cup this year. And the truth is, I think even possibly Toronto and Winnipeg will go further in the playoffs than Edmonton this time around. But if Edmonton continue rolling, we'll know. We're going to see it in the first 2 games. Because the first 2 games in Vegas really benefit the Oilers, I believe, guys, in this playoff. I just do. I think it's better for Edmonton to start on the road. That way they can avoid all the Canadian media and pressure and all that stuff, and they just get going. So that's my 4 picks. Florida, Washington, Winnipeg, Vegas. That's what I got. Okay, now I want to talk about the boys, because now that the season's over and the dust has settled for this guy, it was a rough season, guys. It destroyed me loving the team this year, almost, really. I do love the Sabres unconditionally. Don't get me wrong, I do, but it was one bad season too many for this guy. It just was. I was so disappointed in this season. I had such high hopes about this season. I just didn't think we'd get worse than we were the year before. You know, bringing Lindy over, and there was a bunch of reasons why. I just thought we would be way more competitive than we were. And, you know, Lindy never in his entire tenure as our coach had lost 13 in a row. And, of course, this bunch found a way to lose 13 games in a row. 10-3, which is disgusting, guys. You can't do that in this day and age and expect to make the playoffs, right? You got to have a competitive record to be in the top 16 teams that get in. And the top 16 teams, none of them go and lose 10, 8, 7, 13 games in a row. They just don't. So that's how I feel about that. I think next year, I feel good about next year. But I had no momentum as a Sabres fan, guys. None. 0. And I'm grasping at straws. And along comes Devin Levi in the playoffs for the Amerks, going nuts. And there it is. There's my momentum right there. I'm going to cover, from this point on, I'm going to cover the Amerks playoff games. I'll cover it on the channel, as well as some blue and gold talks to get through the summer, and we'll talk about the draft and so on. I know we're all sick of the draft. I get that. I am. I'm sick of the draft too. I don't really give a damn this year, really, who we draft. I'd rather we trade it out and get a vet. Get a good vet on this team. Trade out our first rounder and get a solid vet on this team. I'm so sick of Adams and his long ass rebuild at this point, because it's too long now. I mean, I look at if you just look at any team, I can look at teams. St. Louis. St. Louis is a perfect example. You know, a few years of missing the playoffs, they slapped together a quick rebuild. Boom, they're back in. Like that's just one example. And everything looked bad in St. Louis a few years ago. Bennington's numbers were bad. Everybody was laughing at him. I've always been a believer in Bennington. I still am. I mean, this guy's he's dynamite. This guy. And I believe that's what we have with this kid, Devin Levi, in the minors. I do. I don't think we have to panic about goaltending next year. People are saying, oh, well, he's not ready to make the NHL. Don't listen to those people, folks. Just don't. Don't, because he is going to be ready to make the NHL. This is a special young talent that we have here. And people are saying, well, it's because of he's got a defense in front of him and this and that. And, when you go that many periods in a row and not let in a goal in the playoffs, you're doing something right in nets. You can say it's the defense all you want. It's the goaltending. Because now Devin Levi's in the heads of the opponents now. And I think that's going to continue throughout the playoffs. The Amerks have a shot at winning it all this year, so we'll see what happens there. But right now, we got the goaltending, and that's the key facet to winning any championship, as you guys know. Goaltending Physical play. That's what playoffs are all about. And of course, timely goals, of course. So as we approach now the second round, I'm looking forward to this season being over with very soon, actually. But I can't see, folks, I can't see anybody beating Florida. Not yet. Toronto may be the one team, believe it or not, that have the tools to do it. They've got the offensive power. Seems like Stolarz has found his game. They have a good coach. It's hard to tell. And I think Paul Maurice really screwed up when he talked about that. You know, like, Paul Maurice should shut his mouth. Really, guys? When he goes and talks about that should be the players that shake hands, not the coaches, like, shut up. Don't start being controversial now. Now's the worst time for him to open his mouth and be special and different. Nobody likes special and different this time of the year. Nobody. Worst thing Paul Maurice can do is be a distraction to his team right now. He's a good coach. He should shut his mouth. You're not going to change. Don't become holier than thou, and all of a sudden you think you can change the future of NHL traditions as they are right now. Coaches shake hands too. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, he doesn't want to shake hands. I don't know if you've seen that article, but you know, sometimes you can't say those things. You just let it go. You know, don't start being a distraction in the dressing room of the team. And little things like that can spread all of a sudden. So anyway, I'm looking forward to the second round, guys. I don't know if, how you're feeling. Sorry, I'm still fighting a grip. It's been a lousy year of health for me. But guys, I just wanted to leave it with that. I want to thank Devin Levi for reigniting my major interest in the future of our team right now, because I know some of the guys had great years. We'll have a video on that. I will do a video on that, guys, a numbers video where we look at the numbers of some of our players, and God, we had some really good numbers this year, you know? But as a unit, we sucked as a unit. And this thing about the softness is coming to a head. I said it years ago. I'll say it again. If we do not become one of the top 5 hitting teams in this league, we're never going anywhere in the playoffs. Anywhere, ever. And this whole rebuild will be a waste. We cannot be a middle-tier physical team and win the Stanley Cup. It's just never going to happen. So we need to get this thing right very soon. So I'm hoping next year we're going to see some of that. I really am. I got my hopes up. But I'm very happy with Devin Levi right now. Devin Levi has been the spark that I needed to feel good about the future of this logo right now. That's how I'm feeling, guys. So I'll leave it there. I'll see you guys soon. Long-awaited video. Maybe not. Maybe you forgot. Sorry. Maybe you forgot about this channel, but guys, sorry. I will try to get some more videos out for you. I will be covering, I'll cover the Amerks games from this point on, and we'll talk about it because it's a big interest for a lot of Sabres fans. There's Sabres fans that care about this, so we'll see. Have a good day, guys. See you soon.